it's Charles Fockaert, October 29th, 2017, and on the road with Charles Fockaert, number 9. I want to thank you all for supporting this channel. And I was just outside, that's why my glasses got dark. I started up the auxiliary power, charge up the battery here on the laptop and my phone. And by the way, I wanted to mention this right now before I forget. Can you imagine if I would have been broke down in a black neighborhood? A lot of you people, a lot of you liberals tell us that race is a social construct. Well, guess what? I have a challenge for you. You break down in East Los Angeles and bring your wife and your daughter and maybe your mother. You break down in East Los Angeles or where I used to live. I was born in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. Why don't you break down there in old Motor City at night? Let's say about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Will you even during the day? Why don't you break down there and tell us all about the how you feel and your wife and your daughter feel? I'm glad I'm here in Utah, which is mostly white, and the fellow that kind of came up behind me there, I was looking in the window of a shop. Anyway, him and I got talking, and he told me, just get in lane 3. Just stay in lane 3 all the way through. But I don't know. And even my buddy Mike said he gets tense going through there, and he's thinking about going through there at night after 11 p.m. The other thing I wanted to address is I just watched or just looked at the YouTube channel on my phone, and Chief Justice asked me about changing the oil. You got to change the oil after you do a head job. Gotcha, buddy. Even though the oil was new, relatively new, I changed the oil and I changed the filter. And when I changed the oil, there was no water in the oil as far as I could tell. I think the head gasket has kept its integrity. I think I'm okay. That test going up that incline was the test, capital T, as I mentioned in the last video. And I also suggest you don't just jump in here at video number 9 and watch these videos. This is like a series. This is a series. And it would be like jumping in the middle of a book and chapter 9 and thinking you're going to understand what's going on. I'm going to make comments. I'm telling you what I'm experiencing as I'm on this journey on the road with Charles Fockaert. And I'm also going to comment from my perspective on different issues that face our nation and the Caucasian race. Now, I understand that the majority of the people don't do the research like I've done. They don't know what I know. So a lot of those people aren't concerned about, as concerned as I am about what's going on. They don't see, they don't sense, they don't have the insight, they don't have the knowledge that I do. But I tell you what, once you get your ass kicked like I did, and I mentioned that in the other videos, a Esau Edomite bankruptcy judge named Jaroslovky illegally took away all my assets. And I was I'm not going to brag here, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I was a very wealthy man at 45 years old, on my way probably to being a multi-millionaire, or at least several $1 million, so that I wouldn't have to drive, or I wouldn't be driving in a 40-year-old Chevy Winnebago that breaks down, nor an 86 Toyota pickup. I just saw a bus, a huge bus drive by here. It was parked here last night. Looked brand new. I'd be in one of those, enjoying the end of my life. And this bankruptcy judge out of Santa Rosa, Jaroslovky, watch the videos if you're interested, because that's what's going to happen to this entire country. These people, these criminals, hate your guts. 2 seed line. Nakash, Cain, Abel, Esau, Edomites, and the Caucasian race, the Israelites. The Caucasian race, we show blood in the face. We are the other seed line, and God himself, Yahweh himself, put enmity between us. And these people hate our guts. They would kill you if they had the chance, and they're going to. They're doing it. They did it to Lavoy Finnegam, the Weaver incident, Waco, and the Bolsheviks in Russia, 1917, and for the next, 80 years, they start the wars. And I'm hoping that some of you people jump in here, RV full time, are interested in the subject. But I'm gonna point out, and don't shut me off. Don't shut your mind off. Your mind is like a parachute. It works best when it's open. A lot of you people have been brainwashed by the Esau Edomite television, idiot box, boob tube, plug and drug, Hollywood, the newspapers, all the news. You're being lied to. Everything you think you know is a lie. Get that? Everything you think you know is a lie. Everything you think you know is a lie. Just get that in your brain, and then you'll begin on your way to understanding what's been going on in this world. I was in Pocatello. I went into a thrift shop. Well, I had nothing to do. I walked around, and there was a book in there, a 1970 Reader's Digest Almanac. I took it out. I opened it up to the H, to Hitler. I looked at, oh, he's the meanest guy that ever lived. You know, he was evil, blah, 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 blah. And then I went over to H. I looked in the index for Holocaust. I went back to where the Holocaust should be, and guess what? 25 years after the alleged Holocaust was supposed to happen, Reader's Digest didn't have a damn word about the Holocaust in it. Now, what happened to the editors of the Reader's Digest? They just forgot to put that in there, folks. And that goes along with the World Almanac that I was in a thrift shop up in Kalispell. I looked in the World Almanac. I did the same thing. Holocaust wasn't in there. That was a 1980 World Book, whole set. And not there, folks. You've been lied to. Anyway, once I got into, when I left the country, because I was going to shoot these, I was going to commit a crime, and I want to talk about something here that's been on my mind. See, this judge in Santa Rosa, he only come up to Eureka once a month, and he handled the bankruptcy. And they love to get in there and be able to screw us white males over, and that's exactly what they did. Well, all of these judges, when they know that the bankruptcy judge from Santa Rosa is going to be in town, they go meet at the Ingomar Club. It's the old Carson mansion. Carson was a lumberman back in the time when we were cutting down the redwoods, and his lumber mill. I worked there. It's Halverson's mill when I went to college. So I was asked to join the Ingomar Club many times. You pay, I don't know, they dropped the rate for a little while, and to $500 to get in. And they got the meals, and that's where everybody smokes the cigars and talked about the golf game. And so this Esau Edomite judge is showing up. So all the judges and all the lawyers and all the big shots, they all get together and they all talk and have dinner. And I can guarantee you that the subject of my divorce and my bankruptcy, and I only filed bankruptcy to protect my assets. It was 4 years after the bitch, she filed for divorce, that I finally filed for bankruptcy to protect what I had. I'd get back on my feet and get on with my life, as you people like to tell me. Well, he took away my ability to earn an income. And a lot of you people are on the ship that's sinking, and the floors are level because they're able to manipulate the silver market. They're jacking up the Wall Street, the stock market, and you guys are making money on paper, and it looks good. Pull your money out, folks. I have a degree in economics, and I've studied economics, and I was taught by Dr. Stuart Crane. And I also learned from Dr. Jacqueline Kaysen. I was her teacher's assistant, I believe, for 3 years. and I learned a lot. She was a very conservative woman, anti-abortion, and she couldn't get a job at Humboldt State now today because of her views. But I learned from her. I took her classes, and I learned from Stuart Crane. He used to teach at Bob Jones University when Bob Jones was not 501c3, and you couldn't date, you couldn't race mix, you couldn't date a member of the other race if you attended Bob Jones University. That's the way things used to be when I was younger. Not that way anymore. And so I just wanted to give you some more background as to what's coming for you folks. You know, you look at me, I'm driving an old beater. That's what's coming for us. The Russians had one hell of a time from 1917 to 1990. It was when it finally collapsed. And if you think you're not going to be involved and you're not going to be affected, I would think again. It's coming. And it is amazing, as I mentioned before, how well they're able to hold things together. Their bubble gum, paper clips, band-aids. The canary in the gold mine is the silver and the gold price, and they're able to manipulate it. And a lot of you people don't get that. You don't understand. If you're coming here because this is an RV video, full-time RV video, I suggest you keep an open mind. You hang around. I graduated with a degree in economics. I started and ran my own successful handyman business, construction business, general building contractor, real estate developer. I was very wealthy, big house, American dream, the whole 9 yards. These all liberal Esau Edomite judges get together and they say, let's stick it to them, because I was outspoken. I had letters to the editor published. I supported the Constitution. I spoke out in support of the Second Amendment and the First Amendment. I was censored on the magazine. It's called This Week. The publisher was Ron Pileggi. He was a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, I believe. And he was told that if you don't cut Charles's weekly column out of your paper, we're going to withdraw our advertisements. So when I got the big stick, the financial stick up my posterior in 1999, I left the country, and that makes you start thinking about what the hell's going on. So, you know, a lot of you people aren't thinking about what the hell's going on because you got your jet ski, your motorboat, your flat screen TV, you got your new truck. I see a lot of new trucks driving around. Everybody thinks they're doing pretty well. But you know what? You're a friggin' slave. Just think how much money you could be making if these criminals weren't running our nation. These criminals are preventing you from developing to your full potential and making as much money as we could be making if they weren't in charge, folks. They're making billions and they let you have the crumbs. And a lot of you don't get that. And a lot of you don't like what I say. You know what? If you were in the military, you'd have a DI or what do they call them? A drill instructor. And he'd be yelling in your face and he'd be getting you up at 4 a.m. in the morning and he'd be kicking. Well, I don't know if they even do that anymore. Our freaking military's turned into a real puss. Why aren't you guys fighting the domestic enemies? Why don't you show us where you got a pair? Come on. You're all macho, man. I had one ex-buddy up there, and he was a Marine, and he used to brag about how he could speed around on because he was an ex-Marine, and when he got caught speeding, he just showed his military ID, and they let him go until one time he got caught on the highway, and he had to pay a $165 fine. They're going to come and get you too, buddy. And you military people, I might as well get this off my chest too. You're not fighting for the country. You're not fighting for the American people. You're fighting for the Esau, Edomite, Israel, neocon, military junta. We're a third world country, folks, and it's spiraling downhill quicker than most people realize. They're just able to, they got plugs in the sinking ship, and they got the floors able to stay level as the ship is sinking. Some of you get that, people who subscribe and watch this channel on a regular basis. And I get it. If I didn't mention Yahweh and God, the creator of the level and flat plane earth, and I just talked about all the bad news, that's what people want to hear. They want to be educated. They want to know what's going on. That's why they like Bro Kapner so much. He tells them about the Jews, but he doesn't tell you all about the Jews. And that's what I do here. And a lot of you people attack me because I'm attacking Kapner. Kapner is a racial Esau Edomite. The leopard never changes his spots. The scorpion stung the frog even though the frog was giving him a ride across the pond. These Esau Edomites you think you're making money in the stock market and you got a nice business and everything. I did too, buddy. I just got what happened to me done sooner. I just got what's going to happen to you done sooner so I can warn you. Alrighty? That's what I think. And I may be wrong, but that's what I think. So get your head out of your posterior, look around and drop you know what, I have nothing wrong. I made a lot of money. I was working hard and I was making a lot of money, but I tried to keep it in a balance. You men that have finances, and you men that have a business, and you men that have the means, you white Caucasians that have male Caucasians that have the means to support the cause of in the fight, in the battle, in the war against the Esau Edomites that have taken control of our world, you need to put down the plow. You need to put away all the other toys that you have. You need to pick up the weapons and you need to get in the battle, or you're going to get your ass kicked. I guarantee that. And I'm putting these videos on as a record of my view. And I almost am 100% sure that I'm going to be proven to be right, because I've been proven to be right on so many other things, folks. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. And may the grace of God, Yahweh, that's his name. That's his name. There's lots of other gods out there. There's the Hindu God, and there's the Buddha God, and there's this God, and there's the Allah God, and there's the Muhammad God, and our God, the white race, the Caucasian race, the Israelites. Our God is the God of the Bible. His name is Yahweh. I am that I am. That means he can manifest himself any damn way he pleases. And he created a level playing earth with a firmament above. That's why I can look out today and the sky is blue, because there's water above, there's water below. That's why the water can come up all the way to the top of the mountain where I was there at Moose Peak. And across from Moose Peak, there's another mountain there, 6,500 feet. I got to the top of that, and there was a spring with some of the best water I've ever tasted, because I was thirsty, I was tired, and that water came right out of the top of the hill. There's water below, there's water above. There is no space. The Bible was written about the Israelites, to the Israelites, for the Israelites, and by the Israelites, for you to understand what the hell's going on in the world around you. And I want to thank you for watching, and may the grace of God, our Father Yahweh, be upon us all, for we certainly need it. And I covet your prayers as I'm on the road and having to go through Salt Lake City. See ya.